Now, yesterday the ACT branch of the Labor Party, may not come as a surprise, but 90% in favour of gay marriages. But what that means now, that every state under the New South Wales was simply deferred the issue, is in support, and yet Labor Party backbencher John Murphy was quoted in The Age as saying people in the Labor Party calling for the law to be changed should join the Greens. That's a lot of people who would need to join the Greens. This is how he explained himself. He says it's been driven by his constituents.
Overwhelmingly, they are saying that this is a step too far. The people that I represent have told me unambiguously that same-sex couples being married under the Marriage Act is just not on. And that's why I have spoken out.
You'd like that situation, wouldn't you, where it'd be every politician's dream to have an electorate where on a really hot, controversial issue this is overwhelming opinion.
But again, Barry, why are they talking about it? I mean,
well,
you know,
because it is significant to a number.
It is an issue, but I mean, this is a government, you know, as Chris has just pointed out, there's a diabolically on the nose.
Yeah, but you don't always run away from issues because it's a little bit hard.
But it needs to get back into touch with issues that matter to people.
Yeah, but this issue does matter to people. It matters to a lot of people.
I don't think it really matters to somebody who's trying to put the bread on the table.
But just
I don't think the mainstream of Australia was particularly head up about this. I think they're generally quite tolerant on this issue and wouldn't be too fussed about gay marriage eventually coming in Australia. But I think what they would be angry about in the current circumstance is the government that can't do anything else right, focusing on this issue.
Exactly.
They want them to get the fundamentals right.
It's not. I don't see why we're saying that the government is focusing on this.
Well, they're brawling about it.
It's an issue, and it will be debated at the National Conference in December. And I mean, not that national conferences, quite frankly, mean anything anymore. They're not hardly a binding platform on the government.
No, but you see, it will on this issue. There'll be a lot of media attention on this issue.
There'll be a media attention.
There'll be a fight about it. Exactly right.
But it also gets to
at least it'll make it interesting.
It also gets to this whole question of authenticity too, which I think is central for Julia Gillard. Now, do we really believe that Julia Gillard is strongly committed to a tough border protection policy, or is she doing this for political reasons? Do we really believe that Julia Gillard is against gay marriage, or is she opposing it for political reasons? This, I think, is what a lot of voters struggle with.
But if she's opposing it for political reasons, the chances are she's got her politics wrong. Because for a start, she's likely to be told by the conference, you would think, that this is what the party wants to do, and then she needs to go out there and say, well, for this reason, I won't be taking their advice.
She believes enough in the institution of marriage, apparently, but not enough to get married. I mean, it's a difficult proposition.
No, but again,
for
that's choice. That's
choice,
and that's precisely what the gay marriage
debate is about. It goes to Chris's point about what are the real values here? You know, what are the real values of the person? And the other point to make is that John Murphy and those Western Suburbs Labor MPs, I mean, they're also responding to pressure from the Muslim booths out there, which I'm told at the last election, when you go through them, shows that the Muslim booths were affected by Julia Gillard's marital status. They believe she should be married, and they certainly don't believe in gay marriage. So they're responding to pressure at the grassroots out there.
Am I right, though, when I'm predicting that would be the outcome? I mean, how could it be other than that when you've got all of these states voting in that manner?
It has to be the outcome. It has to be something that's adopted as Labor Party policy and then ignored at a federal level in terms of any sort of legislative change.
So how does she deal with that? She just says, well, it's a matter for the party at the federal level.
Well, you know, either that or
she ignores the conference.
Or she ignores. Well, that's what I'm saying. She'll probably ignore the conference.
I can't presume to guess what her true position is. But if, for instance, she has no philosophical objection to gay marriage, she should say so, that she supports it. But for political reasons, because the country's dealing with other issues at the moment, it's not, you know, like the Republic. You know, it's on the back burner. We'll do it eventually. Yeah, she doesn't have to jump to their tune.
But because she says so, doesn't mean that it's going to go away as an issue. This is something that every state every Labor Party state, bar New South Wales, has said that they want it dealt with.
Yeah, but it's still broadly, though, in a community sense, it's a chattering class issue. I mean, you mentioned the Republic; that's the classic.
Yeah, but it shouldn't exclude it from the agenda altogether.
Exactly. You know, I think it's a social policy issue that is being addressed in other countries, and why don't we face it?
Do you think she'll be around long
deal
enough
with
to
it.
have
Just
to worry
deal
about
with it. Who, you know, why do governments have to be involved in who marries who?
Well,
really,
she should deal with it.
Deal with it. She should. Yeah.
More with our panel shortly. Carrie Ann Walsh, Chris Kenny, and Glenn Mill. But now here's Mike Bowers and Talking Pictures.